Hi, my name is Steve Farnsworth. I'm an alcoholic. My sobriety date is June 18th, 1989. Um, I got that sobriety date when I was 28 years old, flying airplanes for the United States Navy, and they saw some red flags about my behavior, particularly when it came to my drinking, and they made it very clear to me that I was either going to fly their airplanes or I was going to be a drinker, but I wasn't going to do both. And so I graciously accepted their invitation to go to rehab, and that was June 17th, 1989. Of course, that evening I had to go out and do it up as hard as I possibly could because it would be my last day ever being able to drink. So I wanted to make sure it counted. Crazy thinking, but that's where I was at. I was stationed in Brunswick, Maine at the time. They sent me to Navy rehab at the Naval Air Station in Jacksonville, Florida for 6 weeks. I returned back to my base in Maine, and the attitude that I remember was, okay, so he kind of like had a broken leg, sent him off to get him fixed, and now he's back to work. That would have that would have worked wonderful if drinking was the problem. And I'm not saying drinking wasn't a problem. I'm just saying it was deeper than that. And because honestly, I came back from rehab with an honest desire to be a sober person. I didn't want to. When I was in high school, I used to do a lot of LSD. When I say in high school, I mean it was really just between my junior and senior year, like this extended summer. But the reason why I mention that is because I know what it's like to go on a trip, and I always knew who I was going to do it with, what it was going to look like, when it should be over, and I had a lot of fun with it. I wanted to fly airplanes, so I kind of stopped doing that because obviously those two things don't go well together, tripping on acid and flying airplanes. So anyways, but I had that experience, and it helped me when I was in rehab because, and in the big book of AA, it talks about this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde factor of the typical alcoholic. And what I realized while I was in rehab was that as a person who is using liquor for whatever reason, my thinking was one way, and I didn't even have to have the liquor in me. All I needed was to know that I'm going to be able to drink at some point, and my thinking is one way. But when I'm committed to being sober and doing whatever that takes, I have a very different perception, different thinking, and so what I came home from rehab with was an honest desire to not be a drinking person, and I really believe that it was mostly because of my experience with LSD, because I realized that as a drinking person, my mind was taking me on a trip that I did not sign up for, and that scared me. And so, I basically came home with a healthy respect for liquor. I knew that I kind of pictured skull and crossbones on the bottle if I was, ever fantasizing about it. And I just knew that there were people that could apparently drink safely, and I just wasn't one of those people. It wasn't a big shock to me. I had a lot of alcoholism in my family. And the one thing that seemed consistent with each person in my family was everybody else could see that person had a problem, but they couldn't see it in themselves. And that seemed to be consistent across the board. And so I figured, knowing that, my ability trips with or without the LSD. Um, I figured that if I really did have a drinking problem, I'd probably be the last one to figure it out. And so I don't know. I've never had a serious desire to drink since I got sober in June of '89. Now I've had a lot of drunk dreams, and I like to share this story mostly so that I can express the mental condition of it, in the depths of it. But what I'm referring to as a drunk dream is, I'm asleep. I'm in the middle of a dream, and in my dream, I decide I'm going to go have a drink, and and I do it, and then I realize that I blew my sobriety, and that was a big deal for me. Um, and so I had so many of those dreams that, when I was about 2 months sober, only a couple weeks back from rehab, I dreamt that I got my life together. That I had a wife at the time, and there was a lot of security in that marriage for me, and I really wanted her back. And I had the Navy career going on, and I worked many years and quite diligently to be able to fly airplanes for them. I had a house and a car and a truck and a motorcycle. Today we call those trappings of worldly trappings, but I had all these things, and I had it all in order. And in my dream, you know, the first off in the big book they talk about this obsession that maybe if I could just manage my life well, that I would be able to drink like normal men, and they call it an obsession, the great obsession, I think, if I remember right. But either way, so I'm having this in my dream, and then I go down and I have I get a beer, and I remember it was insane how the details I can still remember, of the walking. I made the decision, so now the game is on. Don't even have the drink yet, even in my dream. I made the decision, and here we go. And so I walk downstairs and I get a beer out of the fridge, and I remember opening the refrigerator up, and it's like the hark the herald angels sing. The angels are singing out, and the light coming out of the fridge. And I grabbed the bottle that's perfectly chilled, and I remember the weight of it, and the temperature, and the popping the cap, and the sense of ease and comfort before I even got it to my lips. And I drank it. It's the best beer I ever drank, asleep or awake. And of course, I had to have a second. And so, but then I started thinking in my dream that, oh my God, I blew my sobriety. And then I made a decision in my dream that I'm not going to tell anybody. It's nobody else's business. And so um, I was going to keep it a secret. But then I saw these AA people from my group come running after me in my dream. And I like to refer to them as the Gestapo. And so I'm running away from them in my dream. And then I wake up, and I'm like, okay, cool, it's just a dream. I've had these before. But this one, I looked over at my nightstand, and there were two empty beer bottles and puddles of dew. So I'm like, oh my God, it wasn't a dream. And I woke up again. So basically, what I'm telling you is I dreamt that I was waking up from a drunk dream. And so that pretty much solidified any question in my mind that I get this mental condition when it has to do with liquor for sure, and really any other type of um, addictive substance or behavior that I enjoy. Because whenever I get into any of those, I get excessive. Whenever I get something that feels good, that's just my experience. And so that just solidified my commitment to wanting to be a sober person. And like I said, that would be fine if I was just if drinking was the problem. But what I realized was that this real alcoholism has to do with my spiritual condition when I'm not drinking. And I have this yearning to be okay. And I honestly believe it's a normal yearning, but if I don't treat it with a normal antidote, like a relationship, a personal relationship with God, my own understanding, then I get through trying to show others how to do that, which I had no clue about that. And but if I don't treat it with that, then I end up treating it in other ways. And some of these other ways are legal, like lots of therapy and psychiatry and medications, and tried them all, and basically, because I wasn't able to treat my spiritual condition because I didn't know how to, and I wasn't around anybody that was able to show me how because they didn't know or because I wasn't receptive. Um, I can definitely see how it could turn into a mental condition. Just like there's nothing wrong with the yearning to eat food because I'm hungry, but if I go for a while without eating some kind of healthy food, I'm going to have a medical condition of malnutrition. But either way, so I didn't know this, and I went about my sober life, just going to meetings and not drinking, and getting worse and worse mentally and spiritually, emotionally by the day. Basically, everything that I had from my marriage, my house, and my career, I lost sober, just going to meetings and not drinking. And after uh, about 6 years of it, after about 2 years of it, I picked up a serious sex addiction because I needed something to fill this emptiness. And then after about 6 years sober, I ended up with a virus that there was no cure for, and stayed in that condition for another year. But at this point now, I'm infectious, and I can't stop the behavior, and that's what put me in the psychiatrist chairs and trying all the different medications and such. And that was the condition that I met my sponsor. When I met my sponsor, I was just past my 7 year sobriety date, and I told him my story, and he made a comment along the lines of, "Steve, you obviously don't have a drinking problem. You haven't had a drink in 7 years. What you got to do is go back into sobriety." And I had no idea what he was talking about, but it was something new. It was something different. And so I sat there and I listened to him. He explained to me the difference between these two definitions of alcoholism, one of them being a drinking problem and the other one being a normal human condition of a spiritual yearning to be okay, a feeling of separation and disconnect that people calls it a malady. And he told me about the history of AA as well as the Oxford groups before us and the Washingtonians, and he brought it all the way back to Cain and Abel, the twin sons of Adam and Eve. He basically showed me that this has been man's challenge since the beginning of time is to try to fend for himself and find his own way and find his own personal relationship with God. And all AA did is really put a modern day lingo to it all and gave us a fellowship where we can try to find each other that we can identify with, because the only way I know how to really fill that emptiness in my soul is by showing somebody else how to do it. And I didn't know how to do that. I didn't even know that I needed to do that, let alone how to do it. And he made me aware of it, and then he showed me how to do it. He didn't tell me how to do it. He said, "Get in the car," and we started taking action and going around and just doing this thing and finding new guys. And the example that was set for me was priceless. And so I immediately started trying to go out and help others. A lot of people say, "Oh, you just switched one addiction for another." I'm like, "Well, this one works, and it's got affordable price tags, and it seems to be free for the taking, and there's a abundant supply. You never run out of people needing help." And so all the other attempts that I used to fill this emptiness in my soul were very expensive in many ways. So I immediately started getting some flack from a lot of people in AA saying, "You're sponsoring too many people. You can't sponsor women. You can't sponsor people out of your geographic area, and all this other stuff." And I'm like, "Well, who can I sponsor? Nobody but you. And I don't even know who you are. And we're having a great time. If you don't like it, call the AA police, and because I'm going to keep doing it." And we don't have AA police, just for the record, because if the spiritual consequences aren't painful enough for not adhering to these principles, we at the bottom, we drink long before any police activity could get a hold of us. And so I started doing that, and I ended up I was living in Baltimore at the time. I ended up in York, Pennsylvania. There's a bunch of sober houses there that was a really good place to find people to help. And then I had a job that I could kind of take remotely, but I was doing a bunch of different things. Either way, I went to York for a few years, and then I went back to Baltimore and regrouped. The only reason I kept going back to Baltimore, honestly, is because that's where my mom lived. And my mom was always, good for letting me, crash in the spare bedroom or in the basement until I could regroup and go out and try it again. And so I did that, and then I went up to Western Massachusetts for a little bit, had some houses up there for 3 or 4 years, just trying to help people. It was insane. and then I moved back to Baltimore again. I got an opportunity to live in and manage a house in Baltimore that was about 60 years old. It was a sweet deal. It had a lot of nostalgia in Baltimore, AA, right in the middle of the city. I moved in during the riots, if that wasn't a red flag. But that was a good experience. And then, um, what happened was, is a friend of mine from South Florida, um, who was very active in the local community. He came up to Maryland, and I heard he was in town, so I invited him to speak at the meeting and take him out to dinner. And I told him I was trying to switch careers, and he asked me why, and I told him, and I said, he said, well, I got a better idea, but it's going to require you to come down to live in South Florida. I told him, I said, that's going to be a problem because I just got done telling God that I'm never moving again. But in case you're interested, God has some serious control issues, and next thing you know, I'm moving to South Florida, and I'm working um, for an organization that certifies sober homes. And I always say my best uh, um, piece of experience that makes me qualified for this job is my experience in New York and Western Mass and in Baltimore, because I became an expert on what did not work in sober living. And so it was the easiest move I ever made. I just made myself available to God and to let things happen. All the things that I was involved in Baltimore were kind of meeting their natural end to where I would have to, cultivate some more projects down, up in Baltimore if I wanted to stay. But all these other things were revealing themselves in South Florida. Um, I sponsor a guy that does mortgages. He used my VA benefits to get me a sweet deal on a house. I bought the house while I was still in Maryland, so I moved in the day I got here. I still get the emails. I have yet to find a house that I wish I got instead. It looks perfect for what I'm doing and the location. The job, very challenging. It's kind of political in nature. I don't really have experience with that, but I'm doing my best and I'm liking it. Um, and I don't know. I just but all this stuff is nice. But the thing is that I just don't put any distance between me and the new guy. I don't put any distance between me and my brother and my sister that's reaching out to me asking me for help along spiritual lines. That is the most important thing I've been doing consistently. As a result of that, of doing that, right off the bat when I started doing it, that virus went undetectable. That got my attention. It's amazing what the immune system can do when your spirit's strong. Um, but just all kinds of things keep happening and coming, opportunities coming my way I'm just about being service. And, you sow seeds of love, you're gonna reap a lot of love. It's just a law of the universe. And if you're getting a life full of fear, it's because you're in some fear. And somebody, you're gonna need to find somebody that can show you that. Um, but I got a real sweet lifestyle right now. But honestly, it hasn't always been like this. Things come and go. And it's over 31 years, almost been 2 months, like a month and a half would be, 31 years that I've been, sober and consistently, active. And there's been times where, like living in the chip house in Baltimore, that inner city house, that was, most people would look at me. Most people did look at me like, what are you doing? And my heart was full. And even when I, was reckless with my money because I'm out there trying to help others and thinking, oh God, God's got me, I can spend recklessly. It's not true. Irresponsible spending is irresponsible spending, regardless of whether you're doing it to help others or not. But but either way, I was trying, and I stayed consistent, and I always did it from my heart, not my ego. And as a result, my heart's been full, regardless of whether I was living in the ghetto of Baltimore or a sweet deal here in Palm Beach County. But so I'm having a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying myself. I promise you, I would not be doing this at 31 years sober if it wasn't fun. I don't know what else I can say because it's only 15 minutes. I think I've been about 20 now. But I just want people to know that this is not luck. It's we really reap what we sow. But I needed to be shown how to do that. And so free. It's fun. It's your birthright. You don't have to earn it. Um, I hate it when people say, "Oh, you got to do the work," because honestly, hard work is trying to live happy and free, not doing this. This really is the easier, softer way. But I get, I don't like getting caught up in semantics, and I understand what they really mean. But either way, I'm having a really good time, and I'm really grateful that Will thought enough about me to ask me to do this with you. So that's all I'm going to share for now.